Hello, welcome to part 1 of our Ana Basics Guide. Reminder that this is game version 4.2. This first part we will be focusing on essential moves. In part 2 we'll talk about basic or common game plan elements. Then finally in part 3 we'll go over some referential items like punishers and combos. A quick note that these guides are meant for beginners or those looking for the briefest of overviews on how a character functions. If you're brand new to Tekken and don't understand all of the terminology, jargon, and so forth, I highly recommend the Tekken 7 System Basics Guide on this channel, which is broken into 6 parts for easier viewing. You can find links to those as well as a couple of other good beginner resources in the video description below. At the very least, take a look at notations so you can follow along easier. And as always, there's a link to the written version of this guide down there too, should you need it. Enough with that, let's talk about the more lovable half of the Williams family. As usual, we'll talk about Ana's Chaos Judgment and Crouch Dash in part 2, as well as her full crouch while standing moves, since those are a big part of her offense and need more discussion. Ana has a 1-2 and an I-10-2-1, the primary difference being the string options afterwards. 1-2-4 is common since the third hit is a counter hit launcher, which will give you some initiative back on 1-2. 2-1-4 is similar and also common since it's a normal hit launcher and gives +7 on block. The second and third hits are a natural combo on counter hit as well, so if you whiff the first jab and catch someone swinging into it, you'll still get your launch. This is worth knowing since her jab range isn't the greatest, so whiffing that first jab isn't uncommon. These do end high though, and your only other options end low, so although you can use those for knowledge checks, it's again best to use these to get more mental frames on the jabs. 1-2 is only -1 and 2-1 is only -3, so if they're ducking or doing some other kind of defensive option for those third hits, you can go right back on offense. Note that because 1-4 and 2 down 3 end low, you can mix these with 2-3. Just be careful since 2-3 is -11 on block, and going to CGM with 2-3 back is still -3. Also note that you have to delay 2-3 since it jails otherwise, but still worth the occasional use. 4 is a safe I-11 counter hit launcher, pretty typical Magic 4, although she does have a second low hit to hers, but there's no mix up to it, it's just there for cover. Forward 2-3 is an I-14 high chunky natural combo that can splat. Both hits are safe and it jails, unlike back 2-2, her other I-14 punisher. In terms of risk, it's one of her best whiff punishers. Forward 4 is an I-19 mid long range low crushing wall bouncer, -11 on block, which isn't terrible at all given the reward at the wall. Solid long range whiff punisher as well. Down forward 1 is an I-13 mid poke, -1 on block at worst, but you'll commonly see down forward 1-2, which is a jailing natural combo, still only -3 on block with 2 potential enders for more cover, so you'll get most of that back. Down forward 1-2-3 ends with an unsafe mid. Down forward 1-2-4 is a safe high. Both will knock down splat, so dangerous for opponents to swing into it, especially at the wall. Down forward 1-2-3 back is another CGM transition you can use if they really start respecting that third hit, but either way you'll be spamming these options a lot. Down forward 2 is an I-15 mid launcher, -12 on block. Ana doesn't have a traditional hop kick, but thanks to season 4, down forward 2 is now 15 frames, which is a big boost to her punishing potential. Down forward 3 is an I-14 mid kick. The string options are essential in the sense that they're really good at testing your opponent's knowledge and defensive patience. Reason being that the vast majority of your options here end high or low, so not much in terms of raw mix-ups. Down forward 3-2 is probably most common since it's a safe, quick, natural combo poke option with third and fourth hits for cover, and you can tap down forward to go into crouch dash pressure. Down forward 3-4 is another common option, usually at the wall or as a punisher since it's a safe, natural combo, 33 damage splatter, but risky since it can be ducked. Down forward 3-3-3 is good for the occasional use too, since all 3 hits are a natural combo on counter hit and they jail. Down forward 4 is an I-16 low poke, tracks to her weak side, which is the left, massive +5 on hit and forces full crouch, very punishable at -15 but extremely powerful otherwise. Most would consider this her best low. Down 2 is an I-16 power poke, +1 on block, +7 on hit, and forces crouch for both. Slam on counter hit for a free grounded hit. Suffers from weak tracking and somewhat limited range, but really good otherwise. Down 3-2 is an I-16 NCC high crushing launch string, -13 on block, so it is risky but good at deterring jab string harassment or similar high starter strings. Down 3-4-1 is an option 2, also starts NCC, and the last hit is a nice pressure tool, but just be aware that it can be stepped even on normal hit. Down 4 is an I-12 high crushing low poke, good tracking and range. Solo, it's meant largely to annoy and control space and pace, but Anna also has down 4-1, a safe NCC low high string. More importantly, she can cancel into CGM at +1 with down 4-1 back, which is very common. So you can use it like a normal toe kick or to start some easy CGM pressure. Down back 3 is an I-27 high crushing low launcher. It's essential in the sense that your opponent needs to know you're willing to use it. It's very seeable and risky on block, but if they're being too crazy with their highs, it can make them slow down a little bit. Down back 3+4-3 should be used in the same manner for the same reasons. Down back 1+2 is an I-20 mid power crush, -13 on block, knockdown splat on hit, so particularly useful at the wall, but just another tool to deter buttons. Back 2 is a safe I-14 homing move. Back 2-2 is also safe and a natural combo, but it can be ducked, so it's often reserved for punishing. Back 2 though serves as an alternative to something slower like back 4. Speaking of back 4, it's a safe I-20 rangy mid homing move that can knock down splat on counter hit, +9 on hit, does a lot, it's just a little on the slow side. Up forward 1 is a safe I-13 high poke that gives +7 on hit, so not terrible there, but the rest of the string can launch in 5 different ways, which is how you'll often see it used. The second hit and the full string are counter hit combo launchers, the third hit can launch solo, and the second hit guarantees the third, making the last 2 hits a launch combo. Plus, if the last 2 hits connect counter hit, you still get a mini combo. Up forward 1-3 can also be delayed, so you can confirm counter hit up forward 1-3. Up forward 1-3 is -16, but has enough pushback on block that a lot of standard I-15 launchers will whiff, like most down forward 2s and hop kicks, and you of course have the 3+4 ender for cover. That ender is steppable, but if they're doing that, then it completely eliminates the risk of up forward 1-3. Really strong string since there's so much that you can do with it. Up 4-3 is a safe, rangy, low crushing power mid, knockdown on hit for a free grounded hit, slow at I-25, but otherwise a solid crush move. Up forward 3+4 is an I-20 low crushing mid-mid, very safe at -3, +5 on hit, and leaves her in full crouch for full crouch mixes. Will also hit grounded, so you'll see it a lot after things like forward 4-2, back 2-2, etc. Really strong move. Forward 4-2 is an I-16 homing high, +6 on block, knockdown on hit for a free grounded hit. One of her primary approach, tracking, and pressure tools, so you'll be using this frequently. Forward 4-3 is an I-15 mid launcher, -13 on block, another common approach tool. You can continue the string for more cover, forward 3-4 back 3 being most common since it's only -1 going into CGM, so you can keep up pressure and you still get a mini combo if the forward 4-3 happens to hit. Forward 4-3 is also another tool that tracks to her weak side. Forward 4-4 is an I-31 low crushing mid roll kick, 0 at worst, but up to +3 on block if you space it, juggle on hit. Despite being slow, the big active window helps it a lot as an approach tool, and since you can hold down to recover full crouch, it's perfect to go right into full crouch pressure. Forward 1+2 is a safe knockdown splatting power mid, simple to use and useful for people getting too cute ducking your approach or at the wall. Sidestep 2 is an I-20 low, 0 on hit, +14G on counter hit, -12 on block, but if it hits, you're in a good spot for full crouch mixes. Sidestep 3 is an I-21 ground hitting power mid, +4 on block, +8 on hit, forces crouch in both instances, so very useful pressure and Oki tool. Slam on counter hit for a free grounded hit. Sidestep 1+2 is a safe I-19 mid launcher, so really good mix up to Sidestep 2, but safe mid launchers are always desirable. Anna's Rage Drive is an I-15 mid-mid launcher, +5 on block into full crouch. We'll talk more about Crouch Dash in part 2, but for now know that her Rage Drive is very powerful triple threat. It's a mid launcher, it works well to immediately go into full crouch mix-ups on block, and it can be used as a combo ender to jack up her combo damage. Her super also deserves a quick call out since it's one of the few safe but high supers. It's also one of the few incredibly fast supers at I-13, so you can use it as a legit 13 frame punisher. This brings us to the end of part 1. We hope this list helps you focus on Anna's most important neutral moves. In part 2, we'll talk more about other aspects of her game plan to help put it all together. Expect that here in a couple of days. And with that, thanks for checking out this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications here on YouTube so that you get alerted when a new video drops. I also have Twitch and Twitter links down below. Lastly, big thank you to our patrons, Tato, Overhaul, and XMRT. The more support we have, the more resources we can devote to channel content. So again, thank you to those 3 and everyone that considers supporting the Patreon. Stay safe, everyone, and we'll catch you next time.